I said I owe my ex's wife nothing, and was quietly glad my kids don't consider her their second mom. My ex-husband Jake married this woman named Becca exactly 8 months after our divorce was finalized. 8 months. I found out through Instagram when my friend Emma sent me screenshots of their engagement photos with crying, laughing emojis. The caption said, "When you know," which made me want to throw my phone across the room. Jake and I split when our twins Mason and Chloe were 6. It wasn't messy or dramatic, just two people who realized they were better as friends than married couples. We agreed on 50-50 custody. He moved into an apartment 15 minutes away, and honestly, things were pretty smooth. The kids adjusted well and we made it work. Then Becca entered the picture. She was 28, blonde, worked at some marketing firm downtown. Everything about her screamed, "I'm trying to be the cool stepmom." She'd pick up the kids wearing designer athleisure, and always had some activity planned. Trampoline parks, pottery painting, those indoor rock climbing places. She posted everything on social media with captions like, "Blended family adventures," and "Bonus mom life." At first I thought, whatever, good for the kids to have someone who cares. But then she started overstepping. She'd buy them clothes that were way too expensive and completely different from their usual style. Mason came home wearing this $60 Supreme hoodie that I knew Jake couldn't afford on his teacher salary. When I asked about it, he shrugged and said Becca thought he'd look cool. The real problem started when she began acting like she was their actual mother. Parent-teacher conferences, doctor appointments, school pickup. She'd introduce herself as Mason and Chloe's mom to people who didn't know better. One time the school called her instead of me about Chloe getting sick because somehow her number got listed as the primary contact. Last month was the breaking point. Becca called me crying, actually sobbing into the phone about how ungrateful I was. Apparently she'd been planning this elaborate surprise birthday party for Mason's 9th birthday, rented out some fancy venue, hired a DJ, ordered a custom cake that cost more than my grocery budget for a week. The works. She'd sent invitations to all his friends without telling me. I found out when another mom texted asking if I needed help with anything for the party. I was confused because I'd already planned Mason's birthday party at our house with his friends coming over for pizza and cake like every year. When I called Jake to ask what was going on, he got all defensive, said Becca just wanted to do something special, and I should be grateful someone cares enough about my kids to throw them a party. I told him I appreciate the thought, but she should have asked me first since it's my weekend with them. That's when Becca got on the phone, voice all shaky and upset. She said she'd put so much work into this party and couldn't understand why I was being so difficult. Then she hit me with this line that made my blood boil. "I'm their second mom. They need consistency between both homes." Second mom, like I was just the first mom, like we were some kind of team raising these kids together. I told her straight up that she's not their second mom, she's their stepmom, and there's a difference. That I appreciate everything she does for them, but she needs to respect boundaries and communicate with me about major things involving my children. She started crying harder and said I was being cruel, that the kids loved her and saw her as family. I said of course they love her, she's important to them, but that doesn't make her their mother. Then she said the thing that really got to me. They call me Mama Becca. Mason said he wishes he could live with us full time because we have more fun. I hung up on her. Sat in my car outside Target for 20 minutes just processing what she'd said. Not because I believed Mason actually said that, but because she thought it was okay to tell me he did. The party thing got sorted out. Jake convinced Becca to cancel the venue and they had a smaller celebration at their place on his weekend. Mason had his regular party with me like planned.